My name is Josh Coldren. I'm the pastor of Crossroads Church here in Roanoke. I've been the pastor here for 7 years. About 3 years into me being the pastor here, I was rear-ended by a delivery truck. Delivers furniture and washers, dryers, all that kind of stuff. It was fully loaded when it hit me, and it was about 7:30 in the morning, and ended up going to the hospital by ambulance, and ended up having a lot of pain, a lot of issues as a result of it, to the point where I had literally this burning that would come from the back of my neck all the way through my head and into my face, and I spent months in bed just really getting up to come to church and to kind of get through Sunday morning as best I could. It really changed me. I ended up having to go to doctors all the way from Duke University in North Carolina all the way up to UVA. UVA finally being able to be one that helped me with some injections and some different things that they were able to do, and some medications. Had a lot of anxiety as a result of it, and it really caused just a lot of issues. There's still some residual pain and things that I deal with. Even had one doctor look at me one time and say, well, you probably just need to stop being a pastor and go on disability. And I really fought through that, and really had to rely on God to not quit, not give in, and to ask Him to give me the strength, to be able to get through what I was dealing with. And I saw, sure, there's still some residual issues, residual effects that I deal with as a result of the accident, and some flare-ups of pain that I'll have at times. But I didn't have to quit. I didn't have to go on disability. And I truly believe that was because of God. He gave me the strength to be able to keep going, even at my lowest point. And it was tough. When the anxiety and even at times depression, because of the level of pain that I was in, when that set in, it was hard to overcome those things. And just really having to trust God that He was going to see me through. As I said, there's still some flare-ups that I'll have at times, but being on the other side of it, I see God's hand. I see God's hand at work and giving me the strength to be able to do what I do, even when I have those flare-ups, and even when I have that, the neck pain or the back pain that will come up. But all along the way, just God brought good nurses, good doctors, and people, into my life to be able to help me get back to where I was, and I truly believe there was healing that God brought to me. So that I am able to do what He has called me to do today, being a pastor.
Coming and celebrating Easter with us, and just know this, that when we come together, we're joining with thousands of other Christians all across the world, who, what we're doing is we're celebrating what I would say is the greatest day in history. It's the day that we hold our faith on. It's what we hang our hat on.
So there, one verse that I really held on to was referring to God. It says God heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. And there was the aspect of God just bringing healing. And the struggles we went through. It was hard on my wife. She had to miss a lot of work to be able to drive me to doctor's appointments because I would get these injections and the medications I was on and wouldn't be able to drive. But she gracefully, her job was understanding. She got FMLA, which is family medical leave, and she was able to miss work at times, having to go without pay to be able to take me to these appointments. But coming back and just holding to that verse that God heals, He binds up our wounds, the wounds that I had as a result of whether it was the anxiety and depression mentally, or whether it was just physically the pain that I was going through. And it was hard. It was hard on my family. It was hard even on my parents who lived hours away. Nicole having to be there to help me to be able to get to those doctor's appointments, get to the places that I needed to be, where I know it was a strain and a struggle on her, but still just continuing to push through those things, and just trusting that God was in control.
When Josh had his car accident 5 years ago, it was definitely a strain on us as a couple and our family and our jobs and just everything that we had going on at the time. The church, pretty much, we did most of the things in the church. We didn't have as many full-time staff, and so when he got hurt, there was a lot of challenging things to keep up with and to keep going. And a lot of times with Josh being so sick, the pressure of keeping everything going fell on me, and I had to not only maintain my job as a teacher, but also keep things running with the church, and trying to just make sure everything got done when he couldn't do it. Jesus paid it all to him I owe. Sin had left a crimson stain, he washed it white as snow.
And through it, I can't tell you how many people I've had the opportunity to be able to talk to who deal with physical pain and have gone through similar struggles that God has allowed me to speak the truth of who Jesus is into their lives because of the struggles and the pain that I went through. And, God, we see that with God. God uses our struggles and our past to help people where they're at, and gives us that testimony to be able to share who Jesus is, even through the struggles that we went through. And what Satan meant for evil, God takes and uses it for good. So that's what I held on to. That's what I had to hold on to the entire time that I was going through this. And sure, there were some low points. There were some very, very low points. At one point, because of all the medications I was on, I had stomach issues, and they thought I had a stomach ulcer, and just a mess from one thing after another, but still seeing God's healing through it all, and trusting Him.